Okay. Well, hey, welcome everybody. This is the Datacom office hours. This is something we do every so often, about once a month, where we give customers opportunities to dial in and chat with members of the CA development support and technical support teams to ask questions just about anything. For this month's session, however, we wanted to open the session up and talk a little bit more about a specific topic. If you do have questions, please feel free to ask any generic question at the question and answer section of this presentation. But for those of you that have joined us, what we really wanted to discuss today and make sure that everyone has this information is the upcoming Cadre Technical Conference that we're holding for all the Datacom and Ideal users. The Cadre Technical Conference, or CTC as we're calling it, has been advertised for about the last 3 months, and hopefully all the Datacom and Ideal users have gotten access to the conference materials either through this CA communities or through other information that we're passing back. Anyone that's received an email from me in the last 4 months has seen a nice little box at the bottom that introduces the conference. The Cadre Technical Conference was put together this year by the Cadre community and CA in response to a change, if you will, in the way the CA World was held this year. CA World became a much higher focus this year, focused on business trends and things happening in the industry, and there was a wealth of information around new technologies and things occurring in our businesses. But one of the things that wasn't able to be presented at CA World this year was the detailed technical sessions that we normally had for products like CA Datacom and CA IDMS. So one of the things that we put together with the Cadre community and the Cadre board was to come up with a venue where we could do a heavy technical conference geared for the CA Datacom and CA Ideal users, and basically build the conference around the idea that this is a technical conference built by the users for the users. So we asked for input. We basically received input from various people both within CA and within the client community, and we've tried to build a venue that will present this technical information in the best possible light with the least amount of cost to our customers. And when I say least amount of cost, this conference is not going to require any paid admission. Basically, all you need to do is register for the conference, and we'll include for the conference attendee most of their food. So through a grant, basically from the Cadre board, Cadre Technical Community has gone out and helped support this, and they provided funding for part of the events, and through some funding from CA's marketing, we've created an event that we hope will be the #1 event for Datacom and Ideal this year, and to build that event at a very low cost to the users. We understand that the users still have to travel and have hotel accommodations, but we hope that by having this as a zero emission registration kind of event, that we can get more people involved and provide the kind of training and technical details that we need. So that's the idea behind the Cadre Technical Conference. This is a true partnership between the Cadre board and Cadre committee and the general Cadre participants in the CA communities and the CA development staff. We have speakers from both the users and the development staffs here, as well as a lot of opportunity for sharing. So we're going to open this up in a little bit to kind of go into some general questions and so forth, but I wanted to kind of form this a little bit for you. The first part of the conference is going to be what we call our Education Day. On Tuesday, January 20th, we're going to basically bring the attendees into the CA Plano Center. We're going to have our what we call MPR, multipurpose room, split into 2 classrooms. Each classroom will handle about 50 to 60 people. And we're going to offer an introduction course for DBAs as well as an application development course. Now, the Intro to DBA course is going to be focused really on the new DBA, the DBA that needs to brush up on his skills for Datacom. The course will go through in what we consider to be about 11 hours. It's going to be 3 segments, morning, afternoon, and evening, and we'll go through the intro DBA course that we normally teach at an expense to the clients. And we're going to try to build as much basic information into that course to get the new or the newer DBAs up to speed. We've moved the education day to the front of the course so that the individuals who are attending can kind of get that basic set of information before they go to the sessions that will start on the following days. Now, as I said, this is actually going to be morning, afternoon, and evening, and the cadre committee will provide lunch that day, while the CA technical group is going to provide a dinner. So we'll actually be providing 2 meals, if you will, during the day so that folks won't leave the center. Following the education day, then there will be a reception at the conference hotel, which is the Aloft Hotel. So anyone staying at the Aloft will be invited to a reception that's being held there prior or after following the 3rd or evening session. Now that's the intro DBAs. On the app dev side, we've kind of gone at this with a, if you will, I hate to say it the wrong way, but a shotgun approach, because what we're going to offer on the app dev side, again, we're doing a morning and afternoon session there, is that we're going to have training on basics from navigational programming, RAT and SAT, ideal basics, ideal administration, ideal web, SQL programming, use of ODBC and server, and a whole wealth of application development topics. Now, they'll all be separated into 1 or 2 hour segments, but our goal here is to try to drive application development people to think about the types of application developments they have in their environment, to attend these courses and learn about some of the newer application development opportunities there are within Datacom. You may attend a Datacom server session that's only an hour long, and you won't get everything you possibly need to go back home and write a Datacom server app, but you will see the power of it. Now, this is being done, again, the first day of the session so that you can take that information and even build on it through the week. Now, after the morning and afternoon sessions for app dev, we're also going to host what we call focus groups. Focus groups will be the evening session and will offer the opportunity for clients to go to a small group setting, 3 to 5 customers with 1 CA technician, and learn a specific value. They might want to go get in-depth on Data Dictionary Online. You know, they need a refresher to learn how to use Data Dictionary Online. They may want to learn how to use SysView to monitor and tune Datacom environments. They may want to do something with our CA MAT product, the Mainframe Application Tuner product. So we'll have an opportunity on that education day in the evening for folks to kind of break out and say, you know, I really need to learn this one subject, and we'll have a set of subjects available they can go to and actually get pretty much hands-on training. We're going to take 3 to 5 customers, 1 CA technician, they'll wander off into the building to a conference room, bring up a PC, and basically not lecture style, not presentation style, but hands-on style, walk through showing you how to use that product, and then take your questions and show how to answer that question and so forth and so on. So the focus groups are going to be really free form and allow a lot of communication to go back and forth between the users. Now, we don't want to forget the experienced DBAs. So the experienced DBAs, which make up a large segment of our population, will be coming to the education day. We're going to take them over to a separate conference facility that we've acquired for the week in the same building. It's just down the hall. But what we're going to do is we're going to have experienced DBA sessions around certain topics in the morning and afternoon, where we'll actually have available the chief architects and principal architects for Datacom, so that we can actually offer those experienced DBAs in-depth descriptions, answers, receive your feedback on things we need to change, basically create, again, a partnership type of environment where we can go to the whiteboard and draw how it works. The user can come up and say, but I would like to see it happen this way. And we can actually build on this overall environment. So we understand the experienced DBAs are going to be coming to the conference. They don't necessarily need intro to DBA. They may have some interest in app dev, and we're scheduling those hours so they can jump out and go over and do an app dev session. But we're also going to give them an opportunity during the education day to really get grassroots with the developers. And we'll have a significant amount of the Datacom and Ideal staff available to sit down and go through that. So that's day one, and you already have 11 hours of intensely packed education. On day two, we're going to break out into standard conference format. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a conference format where we'll have a keynote. Mike Madden, our head of mainframe, is going to do a keynote for us, followed by several roadmap sessions, if you will. Where's the product going? What's the specifics to version 15, things like that, where we'll have everybody together in a larger setting. And then we'll break up in the afternoon and actually have very specific sessions for DBAs for the afternoon and very specific sessions for application development folks. Again, they're running on regular 1-hour schedules so people can jump back and forth if they really see something on the other track they want to go. So we're going to run a dual track and have both DBA and app dev running at the same time. So this is Tuesday during the day. We will have lunch provided by CA during in between the sessions. Everyone will break at the same time and go to lunch. We'll do a lot of peer, people can kind of get together in little groups and talk and that sort of thing. While this is going on during the day, that separate conference facility I mentioned for the education will be available, and we'll take regularly scheduled one-on-ones and other kind of birds of the feather sessions. So if you have a burning need, you saw something in app dev and you look at the track of sessions and you say, you know what, I really need to talk to somebody about this, or you have a support issue or other things that you want to deal with, you'll have the ability to go out to the registration table and register for a one-on-one, not only with CA personnel, but with other users who volunteered to host one-on-one type sessions. We have several members of the cadre board as well as the cadre committee who volunteered to be available to basically have one-on-one sessions and discuss how their business does something. So while you'll have a set agenda with everything you need to know for DBA being presented on one agenda, sessions about app dev coming down on a different agenda, you'll also have the opportunity to set up these one-on-ones. If we see a lot of interest around a certain area, we could build what we want to call a birds of the feather kind of session, and again, we'll schedule that in that area. So day two, which is Wednesday, the conference is going to be a full 2-track conference filling up today. Now that evening, we'll return back to the Aloft Hotel, and CA has set up a sort of a dinner mixer at a local establishment where folks can get together. Food will be kind of flowing in a appetizer platter kind of thing where you just kind of go pick up something you want, and you'll be able to basically sit down and talk with the peers and CA folks and basically just mingle, again, building up a lot of that mentorship kind of stuff that the conference will hopefully, the long-term goal of this conference is we build the mentorship to go forward for sharing and other kind of things. Now day three, which is Thursday, again follows basically the same sort of conference. We're going to have some keynote sessions being delivered by people from CA and spaces like our big data space, our agile development space, etc. And then we'll break up for the afternoon again for DBA sessions and app dev sessions, and we'll have the one-on-ones, the demos, etc. available over in our third facility. What's key to conference day three, which is Thursday, is towards the evening. We will invite all the attendees. The cadre committee is inviting all the attendees to go to a very special event being hosted by the cadre board and the cadre committee. This is an event that they're putting together with lots of fun and lots of opportunity, again, to have some mentorship, some sharing, if you will, and also a lot of fun. That event will run through the evening, and then we'll all go back to the hotel and we'll be ready for day four. Day four is a half day. This is Friday. Our follow-up, will be a split session. There won't be any keynotes that day. The morning will start out with DBA sessions and app dev sessions running in dual track. We will have that in by noon so the clients can get out to the airport if they need to return home. Those that can stand by, we're going to have a little bit of a snack break, and then we'll go into really a technical exchange and a summary about the conference. What was good, what was bad, how can we do it better? I know January in Dallas isn't too bad. It could have been maybe September, October might be a lot nicer in Dallas, but we'll have lots of things to talk about. So that's basically, in a nutshell, the conference. We're going to have, 4 days completely packed with information, completely packed with opportunity, allowing the customer to pick his primary, and we will ask them to pick, I'm an experienced DBA, I'm an intro DBA, I'm an app dev person, so we can kind of gauge what sizing we need to have around the classes and so forth. But we really want to have an opportunity for clients to kind of intermix, move back and forth with the CA people, take a CA person off to the side and have a real conversation about how to succeed and go forward, or even better yet, build a mentorship between two sites that are doing a lot of the same things and could share information. So that's pretty much everything I have, but before I open up for general questions, I wanted to introduce Dick Millar, who's the board chair for the Cadre Committee and one of our lead sponsors for this conference. Dick?
Yes, good morning. Thanks, Kevin. This conference, as Kevin said, was really, we looked at it and said, we need to develop something for the user community. There's a lot of new things coming out, and you need to be aware of how it would fit in to your particular shops. So I think we've gotten all that nailed, and it looks to be a real exciting conference. It will start on Tuesday morning bright and early at 8 o'clock and wrap on Friday at noon. If you are staying at the Aloft Frisco, which is the conference hotel, there will be transportation on a daily basis to and from that hotel to the development center. The event night on Thursday night, we will be providing transportation from the development center to the event night and then back to your hotel. So we're trying to take care of as many things as we can and trying to control the costs. So this is an opportunity for you to come, get great free training, also to find out what's new and exciting in the Datacom and the Ideal arena. And we really look forward to seeing you on in January on the 20th. If you're coming in for the 20th, I would encourage you to be there on the 19th. That way you stay over and you're ready to go bright and early in the morning, because if you get up in the morning and then get the shuttle over to the development center, it's going to be a busy morning. So look forward to seeing you all there. Thanks, Kevin.
Yeah, a couple of things that Dick, you kind of brought up that we are going to give the clients a lot of interplay with the CA folks, and one of the things that the CA teams have actually volunteered to do is while the folks staying at the Aloft will have opportunity for breakfast there, our teams, CA teams, are actually going to provide some snacks in the morning and in the afternoon, so that we'll make sure everybody has an opportunity to grab something in case the travel over was a bit hectic in the morning. So we're trying to think of everything, and any input or any experiences that anyone had from previous conferences that they would want to highlight to us, please tell us. We'll be glad to try to make sure we have this all under control. But the biggest thing here is, as Dick said, is just we really want you guys to have a very low cost, great experience, and learn lots of stuff and build a lot of relationships. So with that, I'm going to open it up to the folks on the call to see if there are any questions, any clarifications, and other things that we can provide. Okay, Randy, you got to have a question. Come on, Randy, ask me a question.
No, I heard a lot of good stuff. I I'm probably not going to go myself, but we're going to have two people there from MassMutual, and I want to just, I was curious about topics, and I'm sure I'll be talking with the two guys who will be going and helping them sort of focus their plans and that sort of thing. Sounds like you've thought of everything, though.
One of the things that we will do, I guess I meant to say this and it dropped out. There will be some follow-on communications to help you with that, Randy, and helping and planning. We have just about finalized the agenda, if you will, what's available, what sessions are going to be, when, and how they're organized. We have presented that to the Cadre Committee. The Cadre Committee's agreed to all the sessions, and pretty much we're just fine-tuning it. So my goal would be, and I'm doing this, I'm delaying to just after the first of the year. One, it will give us a second time to kind of basically re-energize everybody, but well before 2 weeks before the conference, probably around the first week in January, we will publish through the CA communities and the Cadre website the metrics. It'll basically be a map that says this is what's going to go on. When the customer, and we'll also follow up with an email to each one of the attendees that's registered, explaining that week, also explaining things like what to expect from weather from Dallas, how to get from DFW Airport to the Aloft Hotel, how to get from Aloft to the CA Center, and certain things about the logistics of just getting there. Once we get you to the CA Center that first morning that you arrive, we'll have a welcome package for you, basically a bag with a book with all the sessions, maps of the facility, things of interest, and basically have that available to you. Again, this is something that CA and the Cadre Committee are putting together so that when you finally get to the center, you'll have stuff there. But I will commit to you that first week in January, we're going to put out a planning guide, if you will. So you'll have that capability to sit down with your folks and say, hey, this is a session I think would be really good for us because we're looking at doing that kind of processing. Any other questions? Now that I put Randy on the spot, does anybody else have some questions?
Oh, one more, Kevin. I think. Oops, sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I think you mentioned there would be shuttles from the hotel to the conference facility. Are there regular shuttles from the airport to the hotel, that sort of thing, or is that sort of standard stuff?
Yeah, basically we're far enough away from the airport that the hotels don't do regular shuttles. What we have available are basically four types of transportation. Rent-a-car, which there's a million rental car agencies that have, there are some low-cost rentals as well as the standard ones. Second is direct limo, where you can set up a limo that will pick you up and drive you to the hotel. Taxi service, which is a little more expensive than direct limo, but there's lots of taxis. DFW Airport's a major airport. It's about the same distance from DFW as Love Field. So if you happen to be at a Southwest hub, you can get directly into Love Field now. You can fly direct to Love Field since they removed the Hardeman Act. So there are a lot of direct flights from Southwest. If you go to Love Field, it's no further away from the center than DFW, so you have both choices. The other thing that you can do is that there is a facility called Super Shuttle. Super Shuttle provides basically, there'll be a shuttle bus. It will go to the Plano area and it will stop at 5 or 6 hotels in the Plano area. Super Shuttle is by far the low-cost alternative. You can call up and basically connect with them ahead of time. You definitely want to connect ahead of time and say, I'm arriving on American Airlines flight so-and-so, and they'll basically meet you at the baggage claim, give you instructions, basically go outside baggage claim and there's a pickup spot. And they'll pick you up as well as maybe 5 or 6 other people per bus, and they'll drive you to Plano, and then they'll drop off. So those are the 4 different options. You have rent-a-car, limo, and most expensive, the least expensive is rent-a-car, taxi, directed limo, and then the Super Shuttle. I would volunteer if there's anyone that has some kind of problem or there's a logistics question, just reach out to me directly, kevin.schuma@ca.com, and I will help put that stuff together. But the email that we'll send everyone that first week of January will lay out some of those logistics. You know, you can just basically walk outside the airport to a taxi and say, take me to the A-Loft in Frisco, and they'll know where that's at. It's you know, Frisco's a growing area and so forth, but that's probably going to cost you $30 to $40 versus a Super Shuttle at $15. Okay? Any other questions? Come on, guys, help me. Okay. Dick, I thought you had a point. I don't know whether you had a point you were going to make or.
Yeah, the other point I wanted to make was one of the things that we are going to be using even more and more than we have has been the CA community site. And we're going to be fortunate because we're going to have one of their lead people at the conference talking about how to use that site, how to get into that site, how to make sure you get your email, how do you set up all the priorities so you're aware of everything that's taking place. This conference is the beginning, I hope, of things to come, and we want to use that CA communities as a bridge from the conference in January to the next one. So we look forward to making sure that's available. We're also going to have somebody who is a regular user of the community site to kind of help you with some ins and outs, and we look forward to that being of help as we move forward. That's it, Kev.
And I think the other thing that we wanted to, the reason the community is so important is that you guys, you users, have the opportunities to share information through the community as well as just, you know, getting it from us, from the CA folks. One of the things that has been a constant, you know, question within CA folks, for example, is sample programs, sample assemblies, whatever. You know, they kind of get stagnant. They're sitting out there. They go from one release to another. One of the ideas that we've come up with is that probably the best samples for a lot of the uses of Datacom would come from the user community. You guys know better, you know, how to do a COBOL program with this or how to do certain things. So we're looking at the communities at ways that we can build up in the communities an interactive but also a very, you know, descriptive knowledge base so that folks can actually use the community to share knowledge, post their idea for, hey, this is what our standard is, this is how we do things, and get feedback. Because I've seen on several cases where, you know, we've moved ideation out there. If you guys haven't seen this, we've stopped the DAR system, the enhancement request system, which was a one-off. This client wants CA to do something without any real understanding whether other clients would want that or not. And we've moved to the community's ideation or idea system where a client can post his idea and it gets immediate feedback, not only from CA, but from other users. Fantastic idea. I love it. This will be great for us. Well, did you ever think that maybe that's not the right way to go? Maybe we should go this way. And we're seeing from the community on certain ideas that we're generating interest, and it's kind of nice for us development folks to sit back, let the communities people talk to each other about things so we can see what, you know, what the big drive is, and it also helps us a lot when we're planning our products. So there'll be lots of information like that through the communities. As Dick said, we want to use this conference where we're bringing in right now over 60 people, maybe as many as 70 or 80 customers coming into one place and making sure that they understand all the value of the conference, but also of the continuation of the conference, which we're going to do through the community. So this is going to be a great opportunity for us to really build on that content within the community, because I think, you know, we all need some place to connect, and it's great that we can go to level 1 support. You know, I would put the Datacom level 1 support up against anybody else out there. They, you know, they know the products, they answer your questions, they can do the job. But sometimes you really need to know what the other sites are doing, and the communities give us an opportunity to do that. So it's a real cool place to be. I'll stop talking. I'd like to talk, obviously. Any other things out there? Questions? No questions. Wow. I guess at this point, I wanted to introduce a few people. Hilrik, are you still on the line with us? Hilrik?
Sorry, I was on mute. Yes, I'm still on the line.
Hilrik Onken is joining us. Hilrik is a long-time experienced IDMS and Datacom person, and I just want to introduce Hilrik to everyone on the call because Hilrik is moving into a support role with the Datacom and IDMS staff, and will be helping us to manage those level 1 people I talked about, their knowledge base. So Hilrik is coming in and will be joining us. I don't think he'll be able to join us in person, but he'll join us in spirit at the conference. But you'll be hearing a lot more from Hilrik with any support issues or any other kind of questions that you have. We also have Steve with us Steve Wentworth from the support team. Hilrik or Steve, any comments?
Yeah, this is Steve. I would just like to comment that basically we appreciate the business that all of our customers have chosen to do with CA Technologies, and we sincerely appreciate that. And then obviously as a support organization, feel free to reach out to any of our engineers and the management team at any time. But again, thank you for your business.
Hilrik, as the newest member?
And yeah, this is Hilrich Onken. I'm located in Germany. As Kevin stated, I've been working with Datacom and IDMS before, mainly in Europe, but also worldwide. I'm really looking forward to working with all of you, providing you the support you are looking for. And if there's something I can help, I will just let me know, and you will get my details probably on the conference.
All right. Thanks, guys. I wanted to bring Steve and Hilrik in as we kind of hijacked this hour. This is typically an hour for us to really talk about Datacom office hours and to talk about support issues and ask questions, that sort of thing. But we thought that the conference would generate a lot of interest, and we do have some folks that will be attending the conference from the level 1 or technical support staff. We want to have as much sharing between all of our individuals and that as possible. I guess with that, I will ask for questions one last time and see if we have anything else, or we can close up shop.
Hey, Kevin, this is Clyde.
Hey, Clyde.
I joined late, I'm afraid. Did I miss anything interesting?
Yeah, we actually told everybody that you were going to be buying drinks on Tuesday and Wednesday night.
Yeah, good luck with that working out for you. Let me know how it goes.
For everyone on the call, that's Clyde McPherson, who's part of the cadre board and is one of our biggest supporters for Datacom, and we really thank Clyde for that.
And the treasurer.
And the treasurer. Actually, I just thought about that. Hey, Dick, you want to watch how much money he brings with him?
Too late now.
He and I have already talked about that, and we're in good shape.
Okay. Too late now.
Dick and I are in good shape. The rest of you are out of luck.
Well spoken.
There you go. All right. Any other questions or anything? Well, I really thank you for all your attention today. As I said, we're recording this session, and we'll post it out there. And we will follow up first week of January with both a planning document to help folks like Randy and his team to go out and look for what sessions people should attend on which days and that sort of thing. Also to kind of suggest ahead of time, if you want a one-on-one to talk about a specific subject, make sure that you can either send that in ahead of time, or you'll be able to ask for that when you register. And also, as we said, we'll be putting out a little document FAQ about logistics of how to get to from the airports to the hotel to the center. I really thank you all for your attention, and I guess I'll close the call. Take care.
Kevin, one quick question from Bob Bogan.
Oh, sure, Bob. Go ahead.
What's going on tomorrow? Are they still having office hours tomorrow?
That's a different thing, Bob.
Okay,
tomorrow,
just checking.
Yeah, that's an event for the mainframe community, the overall CA mainframe community, to talk about, you know, the customer experience with CA's mainframe products. We really would like to have Datacom folks attend that because obviously Datacom is part of the mainframe community. So we would we posted that event out on the board so that folks could go to that and kind of listen a little bit about the messaging around the customer experience and provide their input. But thanks for bringing that up, Bob, because we did need to get that cleared up.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, to all the users, thanks for attending. To all the CA folks, thanks for being there. And hopefully we'll be talking to you soon and seeing you all in January. Bye, guys.
Thanks very much.
Bye all.